If I see your hand on someone else, I won't whisper. I'll become the earthquake that rearranges your whole life until you remember me. You taught me how to burn for you. If you touch another, I will set every memory on fire until only ashes of regret remain. Love me right or don't love at all. If I catch you crossing that line, I'll dismantle the safety you built with patient cruelty. I'm not a threat, I'm a promise. One careless touch, and everything you thought steady will crack beneath the weight of what you lost. I warned you how this would end. Cross me, and I'll turn the world you know into the lesson you refused to learn. There's a darkness living inside my loyalty. Hurt me, and I will not politely leave. I will rearrange your universe so you can't forget. You can pretend I'm calm, but love is a loaded thing. Take it for granted, and I will become the storm you begged me to avoid. If another hand finds the place that used to be mine, I will run and rewrite every page of your life with teeth and thunder. I loved you like a quiet war. Betray me, and I'll unleash the battle you never saw coming until every victory tastes like loss. Keep your promises or face the consequences. If my name leaves your lips for someone else, I will make sure it haunts your nights forever. I will not be a footnote in your story. Touch another, and I'll tear the margins out until your world reads only my absence. I gave you peace. If you trade it for someone else, I will become the chaos that teaches you how precious what you had really was. I am not fragile. I am a coiled thing. One stray touch, and I unfurl into a force that reorders what matters most to you. You think I threaten. I only guarantee this. Break my trust, and I will build consequences so tall you can't climb out of them. When I loved you, I left a map of my soul with you. If someone else traces those lines, I will erase the world you knew. Loyalty has a price, and I collect in memories. Cross me, and I will spend every good thing you have until it's gone. You say you won't, but if you do, know this. I'll become the echo of every choice you regret for the rest of your life. I loved with an honesty that hurt. If you repay it with betrayal, I promise to make your comfortable reality crumble into questions. There is a limit to forbearance, and I reached it. Touch another, and I'll take the life you crafted and scatter it like glass. I don't need to shout to be heard. One wrong move, and I will silence your certainty with a perfect, unignorable consequence. You have been warned by the way I love. Treat it cheaply, and I will strip your certainty away until you beg for what you lost. I'll wreck the life you've assembled, because sometimes the only language people hear is the one that breaks what they take for granted. If you trade our nights for someone else's laughter, I will return and make your mornings hollow with the memory of what you threw away. I am patient until patience expires. Cross that invisible edge, and I will become the reason nothing in your life feels safe anymore. Love isn't bluff. If your touch finds another's skin, I'll shake the foundations beneath your feet until every step feels uncertain. I loved you like a quiet cathedral. Desecrate it, and I will watch and unmake the sanctuary you thought would shelter you. You assume I'll forgive. You underestimate the gravity of my devotion. Hurt me, and I will convert every certainty into doubt until it collapses. If I find you with someone else, I won't be the villain you expect. I'll be the consequence you deserve, precise and inevitable. I will not be the background of your mistakes. One touch, and I will foreground every regret you ever whispered in the dark. I gave you my fiercest self. Waste it, and I will harvest the wreckage of your choices and plant it where you can see it. If your warmth seeks another, I will become winter in your life, clean, unrelenting, and impossible to ignore. You made me soft and then strong. Test that strength, and I will return the favor, reshaping your secure world into a landscape of loss. I would rather burn for you than watch you wander. Cross the line, and I'll become the inferno you cannot escape. There's a part of me that builds and a part that ruins. Betray the builder, and the ruiner will happily finish the job. I am a promise and a warning wrapped in one. Touch another, and I will fulfill both until your life remembers my silence. Do not confuse my love with weakness. If you rest your hand on someone else, I will disassemble the life you cling to piece by piece. I will not beg for what I gave freely. I will reclaim it in ways you will feel in the small, empty places of your days. You asked me to trust you. If that trust is broken, I will take about your comforts like a craftsman until nothing remains intact. I loved you like a secret song. Cheat me, and I'll play it louder in your head until every quiet moment insists on my absence. If I see your hand on someone else, I'll turn your place into a battlefield of unfinished goodbyes. I'll destroy the silence between us first, because you'll need noise to drown out the sound of my leaving. You think jealousy is weakness, but mine is devotion dressed in warning. It protects what it adores and punishes what betrays. If I see you smile for someone else, the way you once smiled for me, I'll make sure that smile becomes your curse. Don't call it madness when love refuses to die. It's the ghost of every promise you whispered, asking to be avenged. If you make another person feel what I felt, I will haunt the air you breathe until you taste the mistake. I don't want to ruin you, but if you push me, I'll remind you what ruin feels like in human form. I gave you all my calm. If you trade it for chaos, I'll show you what real destruction looks like. You may think you've moved on, but if I see you in someone else's arms, I'll make time itself stop remembering you kindly. I won't scream or cry. I'll simply rewrite your name in every memory until it sounds like regret. You can't build joy on betrayal. If you try, I'll be the crack beneath your foundation that never lets you sleep. If you touch someone else, I won't hate them. I'll hate you for teaching me that love was just rehearsal for rage. I'd rather be your storm than someone else's calm. So if you stray, I'll reign until your world floods with guilt. You called me your home once. Betray me, and I'll set fire to every door that leads back to safety. I won't fight for you. I'll fight your peace, your comfort, your certainty until you remember what you destroyed. If I see you give what was sacred between us to someone unworthy, I'll turn sacredness into their punishment. I didn't come to ruin you. I came to remind you what devotion can do when it's disrespected. If I see your hands where mine once belonged, I'll teach those hands what trembling truly means. You said you wanted honesty. Here it is. I won't survive seeing you with someone else without taking a part of you with me. If you ever look at someone like you looked at me, I'll make sure their reflection fades before your eyes. Love made me gentle, but betrayal will make me poetic, and my poetry has a way of becoming your reality. I won't touch you again, but I'll touch every memory you have of me until it burns like confession. If you forget me, I'll become the silence that follows every laugh you try to share with someone new. You will never find peace in another's touch, because I left thunder beneath your skin for anyone who dares to replace me. I don't destroy easily, but if you provoke my love's shadow, it will eat the light from your happiest days. If I see you kiss another, I'll make that kiss taste like guilt, because nothing stolen ever feels sweet for long. I'm not jealous. I'm haunted by the thought that someone else might live the version of you I dreamed of. I can forgive mistakes, but betrayal. There, that's the kind of art I only answer with demolition. I will never hurt you physically, but I'll haunt your peace of mind until you beg me to stop loving you. You taught me loyalty with lies. Now you'll learn what revenge sounds like when spoken by a broken heart. If I see your hand brush against another's, I'll turn that moment into a lifetime of what have I done? Don't confuse silence with surrender. My quiet is the breath before the hurricane that will name you as its reason. I didn't fall in love to lose, so if I see betrayal, I'll make sure love itself takes your comfort from you. If someone else gets to hear the softness in your voice, I'll make sure they never forget who taught you that tone. I'll wreck your world, not with hate, but by making sure everything you build without me collapses under memory's weight. You'll see me in dreams, standing behind the version of yourself that you broke to reach another's arms. If you ever betray what we had, I won't raise my voice. I'll raise your doubts until they ruin your sleep. I'm not the kind who walks away quietly. I'm the storm that follows you wherever you hide. You'll call it karma, but it's just me keeping my word. Love me right, or lose everything that feels right. I won't need to touch you. The absence of my touch will ruin you in ways you can't explain. You once said no one could love you like I do. Test that truth, and you'll see how cruel honesty can be. If I see you reach for another, I'll make sure your hands remember how my name felt in their trembling. I'll become the quiet destruction that doesn't scream. But everything you love will feel the impact if your lips dare to touch someone else. I'll make the taste of my name burn on them until you can't forget. I gave you light. If you use it to guide someone else, I'll become the darkness that swallows your sunrise. You'll think I've forgiven you, but forgiveness is just a pause before the thunder finds its voice.